think what makes me feel truly guilty is I genuinely thought these two were really happy together until me and friends who saw signs they kept falling out via unfollows and TikTok reposts. I know even before this situation, Alex has been involved in a lot of stuff, but I've always been loyal to him as a friend and tried to stick by him, even if he was perceived as a dickhead by a great many of people. So he's definitely referencing the Plaza situation and all this shit that went down back then. Then he continues, me and that man used to argue and fall out a lot. But last year when we started playing games together, I genuinely thought he was becoming a much better person and happier person, and I thought that was because he had finally settled down with someone, and that thought now makes me feel ill and an overwhelming amount of guilt. Me and my friendship group, Alex, and even Alex, used to play games together quite a lot, and now looking back on what was going on, genuinely fucking shocks me and makes me feel ill. Sorry to make these stories about myself, but I just thought it was fun at least highlight these events for farther understanding. Me and Alex had a very toxic friendship. I would prefer to keep that private for the most part, but with all these clips, recordings, messages, and the documents, I read them for the first time as the two and that's what was it.
Or as soon as property and premises have been place, blah, blah, blah. Now, that might sound bad, I know, but there's really nothing to worry about. The animatronic characters here do get a bit quirky at night, but luckily,
I think what makes me feel really disturbed is being genuinely worried about him as a friend between December and March of this year. I noticed he was upset a lot more when we played games or discussed YouTube calls. And I, plus others in the group, tried being there as a mate. Even asking him what was up quite a lot, never got an answer. So instead, we just played games and helped him get just to make supporting him and his friends feel mentally. Just so fucked up knowing that he's actually upset. But yeah, honestly, that's as much as I can really say, as it's basically the whole timeline. And that is how I never ends off his statement. And I have a follow-up statement from Meaningless as well, which I covered in my last video. But Meaningless follows up saying, just to follow up, Alex and I lived together between 2018 to 2022. They started dating in 2023. I've only seen them in person 2 or 3 times since moving out. I don't socialize much at all in the typical UK YouTube circles, especially in the last couple years. I don't talk about the situation in general on April of this year, but the creator brought it up to me in a call when I suggested joint recording between our friends. He said he didn't know he said it would be like this. This is bad. Prior to this is that they argued frequently. A couple of weeks later, Alice started posting TikToks alluding to the situation. It wasn't until just after that I got a bit more clarity when I was out there with another creator about the fact Alice had posted something on TikTok before leaving. I knew it was bad, but I didn't know just how bad it was, so I went over all the information when it was made public. I don't want to take the time he just sent me a list of screenshots that are literally deleted messages that Alex posted on TikTok before everything came out, just so we can kind of create a timeline of events. And these are the messages he showed me. He sent messages, but with the rest of the context blurred out. Messages like, effing KU, you're such an effing loser. This one about harming her physically, degrading her, you weird freak, I fucking despise you. You are the actual worst C word, you psychotic little C word, you delusional B word, you just make it up, go away psycho. She posted all these to her TikTok and deleted them. There's some more here, I hate you, you look like a horrible, ugly C word. There's a whole bunch of other disgusting messages that she did show in her documents, but she allegedly posted these to TikTok and deleted them. Says what I believe Meaningless is referencing here when he says that Alice had briefly published some on TikTok before deleting them. So he had seen these when they were making the rounds. So after all those statements, we have YouTuber Jay Swingler. He's a 2 million sub YouTuber who is also part of TGF. He made a statement talking about this whole situation where he says, creators who knew about the whole Alex situation before it became public, only now speaking on it, is a prime example of creators being opportunists. Creators are so excited about drama, they completely forget it's a human being that's suffering. Where the fuck's the concern and genuine support for the girl? God, I hate influencers sometimes. And so this has really been kind of a hot topic of debate when I see people talk about, like, I'm Alex's friends. A lot of people say that there's no way that they couldn't have known. A lot of people say that they absolutely didn't. I think really it comes down to specifically between whether they knew about Alice in particular or whether they knew just that Alex in general was a narcissistic, manipulative asshole. The idea that they could have not known that Alex was a manipulator and a probably evil.
Just rent a car for £9 a day to explore places that are just exceptional and just do all sorts of activities. But really, you just want to stay at a hotel to do what you've been dreaming of all year. Just nothing at all. Go home. It's just a
person, I think that's completely absurd. They were around during the Slazo drama. They saw how he acted during that. They had to know the extent that he's willing to go to tear people down and lie about people and overall just be a terrible person. But when it comes to Alice in particular, it is possible that they may not have known the details of it or just heard little details here and there like we got in a fight, etc., not necessarily knowing the full extent of how bad their relationship really was. And I think that that is possible they didn't know that, but of course Willany and his ex have put out conflicting statements to that, saying that they did know, so it puts this under a different perspective. It continues with another YouTuber named Italian Bach, and he says, I have read Alice's statement about Alex, and I'm absolutely disgusted by what I have seen and read. What he has done is inexcusable and unacceptable. I didn't know Alex outside of a few recordings we did a while ago and had no idea what was going on in his private life. Alice deserves all the support in the world right now. It's an incredibly brave thing she has done, and I truly hope that she's doing okay. Another person by the name of George Clarkey, who was a roommate of Alex's, also spoke out on the situation where he says, in light of the recent statements and videos coming out about Alex, and having previously lived with him, I know a lot of people have been asking for my opinion on things. This isn't and would never be behavior that I would condone on any level. A year ago, I decided I wanted to move out, stop making videos and associating with him. I had heard things he'd said about myself and others making videos with him at the time in a similar narcissistic manner shown in Alice's screenshots. I had spoken to Alice prior to her statement about his behavior and things that I'd heard him say to her, but I had no idea the severity or relentlessness of what was happening. It's truly gross and disgusting behavior. I just wanted my standpoint to be known so the focus could stay on the person who was brave enough to tell her story. And we also have another statement from Arthur TV, where Arthur TV does confirm what George Clarkey